Guyana, another country where the British brought in indentured labor from India in the 19th century to work in the sugar plantations, suddenly is in the news. I guess Guyana also hit a patch of oil and now it is producing quite a bit of oil from its offshore fields, and it is set to become quite prosperous. And here come all the allegations, because now I see a pattern here where any place where it looks like the Hindu origin people are going to do well or doing well, they immediately get scapegoated. That's exactly what it seems like to me. However, don't take my word for it. I'm going to walk you through what happened in an incident in Guyana, and this has been talked about quite a bit. But one report, one article has colored this whole thing as if the killing of a human being is a ritualistic practice in Hinduism. We all know that's not true, but try telling it to the people of Guyana. This is a huge PR exercise that is being done now. Guyana has approximately 40 to 50% population that is of Indian origin. So this is not a small number. Let's hope and pray that people see through reason and call that death for what it is, that it was an accidental drowning. Here we go. What happened? Tragedy in Guyana. The tragic death of a 11-year-old Adrianna Younge has deeply affected Guyana citizens at home and abroad. She was allegedly abducted, beaten, and murdered during a family outing at Doubleday Hotel in Guyana, with her body later found in the pool, suspected to be linked to a ritualistic killing. We still don't know how she died. Let me make this thing clear. But to associate that she was somehow killed for ritualistic purposes, that doesn't hold water. Citizens briefly transcended political and ethnic divisions in a unified demand for justice and accountability. So, what really happened? Adrianna was last seen with her grandmother and relatives in the resort pool. She disappeared suddenly, prompting an immediate search by family and villagers. The hotel staff failed to provide answers. Suspicion grew rapidly. Villagers demanded to search the premises, suspecting foul play. The initial police statement claimed Adrianna left willingly with a mature male in a red vehicle. However, this was later retracted by authorities and admitted to be misleading. Was there a deliberate attempt to try and lead people away from the evidence? Possible. Allegations surfaced that police were protecting the wealthy hotel owner instead of investigating the crime scene. Commander Khalid Mandal has been sent on leave amidst public outrage. So this is the guy who was doing the investigation. Then what happened? The hotel was destroyed by fire. Investigations underway to determine if it was arson by protesters or a cover-up by hotel management. Why would the hotel management want to set the entire hotel on fire? I find it a little bit difficult to believe. Nationwide protests erupted immediately, demanding justice and the removal of police chief 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗧𝗧. Social media and opposition parties joined the call for accountability. 3 overseas pathologists were flown in for a detailed autopsy. Adrianna's body showed signs of severe blunt trauma, with cotton stuffed into her nostrils. The body was found in the pool a day later, though the pool had been inspected minutes before. So this is where the plot thickens. It's as if somebody was playing around with evidence. That's very, very clear here. Why this gathers momentum or gathers significance is because a similar death happened in 2012, and it appears to be similar to how Adrianna died. 𝗔𝗍𝗍 was killed in 2012 and found in the pool with blunt trauma injuries. Hotel manager 𝗒𝙧𝙤𝙪𝗏 and driver Leland Johnson were arrested but acquitted in 2016 due to lack of evidence. See the picture of 𝗔𝗍𝗍 here. Villagers believe Adrianna's murder is a repeat of the 2012 ritual killing. See, how did the 2012 killing suddenly become characterized as a ritual killing? See, this is where the plot thickens. People have not really been able to establish that, but they are letting this rumor float that somehow in Hinduism, people do perform ritualistic killings. This is where the thing gets really, really messy, because Hinduism doesn't do that. Now, let's follow up what happened after that. The autopsy by 3 foreign pathologists concluded death by drowning, raising further questions about the manner and mechanism of their death. There are calls for an independent foreign investigative team due to growing mistrust with the Guyana police force. The reactions to Adrianna's death exposed underlying national tensions, including growing fear and judgment towards a newly labeled social group called scapeheads or scrapes, as well as unsubstantiated allegations of a Hindu ritual killing. How did this Hindu ritual killing get traction? A freelance journalist, Bert Wilkinson, reported the death as a possible bizarre religious ritual, echoed in outlets like Caribbean Life and Associated Press. See, it's just one freelance journalist expressing some doubts loudly, and suddenly the entire country buys this narrative lock, stock, and barrel. This is where things really turned. I mean, the press has become so powerful these days that if somebody wants to put out a fake narrative, there are people willing to take it and blow it out of proportion. Ergo, Associated Press. Reference was made to the 2012 death of Siddique Juman at the same hotel. However, that incident involved blunt trauma resulting from a personal altercation, not any ritual, and there was no official or legal mention of Hindu rites in the case. There was nothing. That 2012 case was concluded with nothing to do with rituals. But one freelance article has put it all out of context and suddenly started making it look like Hinduism means ritualistic killings. This is what I have objection to. Treat the thing for what it is, that somebody got killed. Don't try to attach all these things just because the hotel owner appears to be of Indian origin. Now, once this article published, a lot of people in social media picked it up, and the thing is that the ruling government currently, I think, is supported by Hindus, and therefore the opposition party has picked it up and they have run to town with it. False claims stated that Hindus engage in human sacrifice for wealth and power. These claims are baseless, as human sacrifice is strictly forbidden in Hinduism and condemned in texts like the Bhagavad Purana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita. Even animal sacrifices have been widely discouraged since the 1st century BCE, replaced with symbolic offerings such as ghee, vegetables, and fruit. Now, the British, when they colonized Hindus here in Guyana, they wanted the pot boiling, and they used to always label Hinduism as pagan rituals and the people who practiced Hinduism as heathen to justify missionary activity and cultural domination. By the way, I don't think the Guyanese Indian descent population is now Hindu. Probably a significant number have converted to Christianity, and this happened across many plantations where Indian origin people were brought in to work. A systematic effort was made to convert Hindus into Christianity and to vilify their rituals and beliefs. This legacy continued as converted Africans and others adopted the colonial view of Hinduism as backward or occult. See how not just the Indian origin workers, but the African origin workers who also got converted were fed the same Kool-Aid. This is the British policy. They want you to be always divided and therefore be ruled. Memes mocking Vice President Bharat Jagdeo offering milk to a lingam went viral post Adrianna's death. In truth, lingam, we know what a lingam symbolizes. It's the formless aspect of God represented by Lord Shiva. Milk, honey, and other offerings represent the soul's desire to merge with the cosmic spirit. Hindu rituals are symbolic and include daily prayers for the well-being of all, not just personal gain. Sarve janaha sukhno bhavantu. Happiness to all people. Ironically, those accusing Hindus of ritual sacrifice seem to believe more in its power, projecting their suspicions. Hindu teachings emphasize virtue, hard work, and generosity, not the manipulation of the divine captured in the maxim work with 100 hands, give with 1,000. Every Hindu ritual concludes with the prayer Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, meaning may all be happy. This reflects the core Hindu value of universal compassion, not exclusion or harm. So, this is where we stand right now. And unfortunately, Guyana is in the midst of a torrid growth, one of the bright spots in Latin America, along with perhaps, well, Venezuela. We know how they messed it up. Hopefully, Guyana won't go down that path into financial ruin by giving free subsidies to its population. Let's wait and see how this plays out. Hopefully, this rumor, this whole saga has died down now and things got back to normal. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.